Why hello and welcome back to Spack in the bar. I would like to tell you the story of when I tried to attempt to see Jefferies last year. The year before last year. And I'm going to see him in a couple weeks. So I thought this story would be entertaining. So I absolutely love Jefferies. Like, from Spaz to his TV series this year. I think it's fucking awesome. Especially when he talks about difficult subjects such as disability, takes the piss out of it because it's funny. You learn a lot out of comedy and stuff like that. So, I saw the tickets out. So got some with my friend, and we got up to London. We phoned them up, where the venue was. They said it wasn't wheelchair accessible, so which is fine because I can walk. Get out right there and get to the seat, no problem. I was going to leave my wheelchair outside, no worries at all. So we were together, but got the ticket. We went out to London. Started for pubs that we saw, had a couple of drinks. My first Christian had a couple. I had one bite and needed a piss. So he finally lifted me down the stairs to the lady because I needed to sit down with. This is where I would argue with Jim about having a sit down week because I have a sit down week all the time because it's really hard to be sophisticated to stand up and pee. It just goes everywhere. Unless you fucking fall over as well. And you might be stupid and it goes everywhere. So I don't suggest you do that if you are disabled. Anyway, when the lady, and the toilet was so weird. It was like a scene out of Saw. There were tiles everywhere with one drain. It looked like a murder room. And it makes it actually weird. And the guy was coming down the steps. He saw Christian carrying me on his shoulder, saying, "You fat bastard," and getting me into the lady which looked like a fucking dungeon. That was an awkward eye contact moment. We get to the film after a while. I forget what venue it was. Really excited. Like I have seen about every other comedian that I want to see, and Jim is literally the last on my list to see. So excited. Chris's boyfriend goes in to get the ticket because the stepsister. And what we were going to do was chain up my wheelchair outside so it doesn't get nicked. Christy comes out, laughing his ass off. I think I'm like, what's up? Richie pisses himself laughing. He said, they won't let you in. And I was like, why not? Because the steps and because of health and safety. Yeah. So it turns out that me, the disabled, the deaf person, and my friend, the overqualified care manager, I forgot about health and fucking safety. They wouldn't let me in because if there was a fire, I would like be instantly combust or something. I don't know. Like, because it's not like there was a load of other fellas there as well saying, yeah, we can get you in. Yeah. There was about 10 other guys willing to like pick me up and get me inside. Which I don't need to do because I can fuck them up. At this point, I'm like in the state of shock. I'm going into a bit of a depression because I really want to see Jim. But at the same time, Christian is still laughing his fucking ass off. And I'm like, why are you laughing? And he responds by, it can only happen to you. I hate you. Yeah. So, in the end, we had to sell our tickets, which is what I imagine if you had kids would be like selling one of them, but like your favorite kid, not like the stupid spastic one, the kid one. So, like, we went up to London to get told that I was too disabled to get into a venue that I could walk into to see the guy that takes a piss out of disabled people. I wanted to be that cripple that laughed hysterically. And I wanted Jim to be like, what is that retard laughing at? And they went, hey, it's me! I'm an actual retard. I'm not a retard, I'm a spectrum. But it's funny. I want to be that spastic. But I couldn't this time. So, me and Christian then left. Christian wanted to go to off-Iceland to get some beer to kind of help the situation for him anyway. So, and then we got to our off-Iceland. And there was a bit of a situation with the guy and the owner of the outfit. This guy was clearly wasted on something, and arguing with the store owner about something stupid. Bearing in mind this is like 8 p.m, maybe even earlier. So Christian tried to diffuse the situation, and this guy was basically a Neanderthal. You know when you see people and they're just funny fucking looking. And I know that I go into trouble because it's like, funny looking, if anything. But this guy was like, his eyes were so close together, he looked like a fucking cyclops. He talked to Christian about saying how he was so depressed and just wanted to drink or something like that. Which Christian responded with, if you think you got a problem, you just look at that guy and point it at me. Now, for any normal person, they would have sat up at this point. But this guy wanted to play the game, which is like, let's try to out-triple the triple game, which is always fun. So this cyclops, like, fucking retard, in the underworld of a specimen, came and sat next to me, and he said something like, you don't know how lucky you got it. You can get a girlfriend. I can't. You are so lucky. And all that I could think was, I just had you so much fucking scary chicken. I couldn't get into a fucking venue because they said that I was too disabled for the disabled conversation. Wow. That was a fun evening for me. Hopefully this time it won't be such a fiasco. And they won't think I will be spontaneously come back because of my hair or something stupid like that. And the way I look at it, I'm disabled anyway. Sorry, it won't matter if there's a fire or something like that. Look, I want to have the equal right to die with everyone else if there's a fire. That's all I ask for in life, is to die like everyone else. That was a bit sideways, isn't it? Well, yeah, first video on the new year. Hope you enjoyed it. Probably so. Remember, what doesn't kill you only makes you more disabled. So if there was a fire, I probably wouldn't die. I would probably get like serious. But at least I would see fucking Jefferies. Can't wait to see him.